Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Monday, the second day of December 2024. I hope you're safe and healthy today, and I hope your family is safe and healthy. And I hope the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are out here trying their best to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries of things such as people and mail and food for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help, rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of pornography and child pornography, prostitution and child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators of these things. Double curses on those who make money from these things. And double curses on the perverts that create the demands that cause these industries to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, families, veterans, senior citizens, homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in even worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There was a basketball game at Madison Square Garden yesterday, one of 4 games that the Knicks have on this current homestand. The Knicks blew out the New Orleans Pelicans yesterday, 118-85. Games like this, where the Knicks are rested, unlike Friday, the Knicks were rested. They're at home now after being away for 11 days. These are the type of games when they're rested, even if they're on the road and they just like their first game on the road. These are games against a team that's obviously decimated in terms of New Orleans. They're decimated. They're missing Zion. They're missing Ingram. They're missing Herb Jones. They're missing some really key pieces. But these are games where teams like the Knicks can use these games to get right, or at least to get some of their players that are off right, get the rhythm, okay? Case in point, Mikal Bridges. So Mikal Bridges played 36 minutes yesterday. He scored 31 points. He was 12 of 19 from the field, and he was 7 3-pointers, 7 of 12 from the three-point line. And the key thing here is that it wasn't necessarily against the toughest competition, but it was against competition where he can get his rhythm, that he can get his flow back, he can get his feel. And that's what happened yesterday. He was able to get in his rhythm, able to get in his flow. I expected Karl Anthony Towns to be the center point of the offense because of the weakness of the Pelicans at the 5 spot, and he was causing disruptions for Yves Messi and for Jeremiah Robinson Earl while he was in the game. But it was really Mikal Bridges that was the focal point yesterday. And Jalen Brunson, again, to his credit, really focused on getting the ball to guys like Bridges, having 9 assists. He was getting the ball to Bridges, getting the ball to Hart, getting the ball to people that needed to get the ball to Elgato and all of them. So especially Bridges. So yesterday, for example, OG Anunoby, and I want to say, if OG Anunoby is not first team All-NBA defense, they should just cancel that, because there's no way. This guy's been balling on the defensive end of the floor. I mean, we've seen him score 40 offensively, and everybody knows that. But defensively, he's ridiculous. He really is ridiculous. He always ends up getting steals. He had 3 yesterday. He always gets in the passing lanes. He always locks down players. To me, on the Knicks right now, it's Deuce and OG need to be on one of them All-NBA defensive teams. There's no doubt about it. So he did that. He only scored 7 points yesterday. But yesterday, again, is one of those type of games where, as a team, the Knicks could use that to get themselves right. And everybody's stats are going to be helped by yesterday, including, of course, Mikal Bridges, who was plus 40 yesterday. But, then, of course, Deuce comes off the bench and did his thing, 13 points. He only played 22 minutes, but him and Cameron Payne, 21 points between them. Like I said, I'm looking for 24, but they services wasn't heavily needed yesterday. And then Jericho Sims was plus 16. He had 13 rebounds. Karl Anthony Town had 19 rebounds. It was a game to get right, and they're going to need it because they're going to have an extremely difficult game tomorrow. We'll talk more about that. But the Orlando Magic officially right now is the hottest team in the NBA over the last 10 games right now because they're 9-1. 9-1 in their last 10. That's without Paolo Banchero. 9-1 in their last 10. Hell of a job the coach is doing down there. But they're 9-1 in the last 10. They've won 6 straight. And look, don't look now, but the Bucks have also won 6 straight, and the Bucks in 8-2 in their last 10. So the Bucks are starting to come on, but Orlando's 9-1 in their last 10. There's no other team right now that could say that. And now, Cleveland has 3 losses. Boston has 4 losses. Again, I told y'all they're going to come back to the pack a little bit. They start off really hot. Cool. They're really good teams. But it's a long season. It's a grind. And they're going to come back to the pack. So right now, the Knicks are in the mix. 12-8. They finished their first 20 games at a 600 winning percentage, which is about 49 wins. But they haven't been, fully healthy yet because we've been missing at some point. Well, we're still missing Mitchell Robinson. We've been missing for the whole season now Precious Achiuwa. We're missing Cameron Payne for a good portion. And even Deuce McBride missed 5 games. So we have not had the full contingent. But now it's coming into focus because you got Deuce and Payne, and they're just them added to the lineup have now pushed the Knicks to a new level. The Knicks are now 7-3 in the last 10. And then you now have Precious, who's now practicing, fully involved, going to be playing at any moment. I hope we see him against Orlando, but if we don't, hopefully we see him the game after that. But I'm pretty sure we're going to see him this week. You get Precious involved. Now you're going to start to see the Knicks team that we all envisioned at the beginning of the season that we haven't had yet. So you're going to get all that, and then eventually, like I said yesterday, I think the 27th of December is a good date. That's at Orlando. That's a good date to see Mitchell Robinson back. Okay, and so we're going to see what happens, but that's about 25 days from now. And so I think Mitch Rob is definitely traveling with the team now. He's on the bench. He's working out. It's only a matter of time. So you get Mitchell Robinson back, and you have a second unit that's going to be devastating. Even with Precious coming back, you're going to have a second unit that's going to be devastating. And so what will happen is with that first unit, now all of this time for the first 20 games, the first unit gets to get in the flow, okay? And again, yesterday, Mikal Bridges is really the final piece of the first unit that needed to catch his rhythm. Because he really, of all of the guys in the first unit, he's been the one that has really not had the full rhythm yet. But like I said, I expect that he's going to come back to the mean. What does that mean? What do I mean by that? The guy is not a rookie. Like he's been around, I think this is his 6th or 7th year in the league. So, and he's never missed a game, and he's almost 40% career 3-point shooter. So him shooting 30% right now is away from what he's used to. He's going to come back to where he's going to come back to his average, which means that at the end of this season, he's going to be somewhere around 38% from 3. So if he's 30 from now, there's going to be a course of time where he's going to be over 40, and it's going to average out. So he'll be all right. All of the people tripping on Twitter are just people that like to trip. So that's what Twitter is, really. That's what it comes down to me. Twitter is trip mode for everybody that likes to trip. Okay, and then of course it's divided between people that like to trip and then people that like to gamble and fantasize about NBA 2K, so they could do that. But in reality, Mikal Bridges is going to be fine. And yesterday was a good game for him to get back his rhythm, and it was good to see him shooting like that. And I think that's going to be something normal. He's still got a little nuances, obviously, but I think he's going to be good. So yesterday was good for him to do that. And And we got a big game coming tomorrow. So now the Knicks finished their first 20 games, 12-8. And now this next 10 games between Orlando. Well, actually, yeah, between Orlando and Orlando. So between Orlando at MSG tomorrow and at Orlando on December 27th, the Knicks, I think really this will be a good time for them to really start to flow. And like I said, it's not coincidence. It's not going to be coincidental that the flow is going to come because they're going to have both Precious and Mitchell Robinson. So they'll have the full contingent of Mobb Deep. Hopefully you get even Shamet, even though I don't really know where Shamet's minutes are going to come from. That's for Tibbs. That's a good problem for Tibbs to have because you're going to have to deal between Shamet and Payne. And knowing Tibbs, if you've been watching him, he's not going to let Cameron Payne lose minutes because of how well Cameron Payne and Deuce have played together. So he's going to have that. But there's going to come a point where you're going to need Shamet, and he'll figure that out. But these next 10 games, between game 20 and game 30, is where you're going to see the Knicks start to get in the flow. And so right now, they have, like I said, 4-game road homestand: New Orleans, Orlando, Charlotte, again at home, and Detroit. And I feel like they should go 3-1 in this 4-game trip. They go 3-1 in this 4-game homestand. Then they travel for a 3-game road trip to Toronto, Minnesota. Again, we're going to be at Minnesota on December 19th. And then they go down to New Orleans on December 21st. And then, again, another couple of home games. And then they have another 3-game trip starting in Orlando on Friday, December 27th. And then they're at Washington twice. And again, we're going to be at the first Washington game, which is the second night of a back-to-back for the Knicks. And it's a good thing. I think you could say by then we'll have our full contingent of Mobb Deep, because that back-to-back situation, you're going to need to have your full contingent. And I think they will. So we're in pretty good shape right now. I think the Knicks are in a very good position in their first 20 games and having won 12 of them. And now getting ready to do this homestand. So if they can go 3-1 in this homestand, we'll be doing pretty good again. So yeah, we're in good shape. But tomorrow is probably it's definitely the toughest game of this homestand is tomorrow night against the Orlando Magic. There's no doubt about it. So hopefully we can get Precious back for that game. Hopefully we can get Precious back. But I'm very confident this week we're going to see Precious Achiuwa, and this is a welcome sight. Okay, so we're good. We're good. So yesterday was the blowout, and they did, do what they had to do. And Mikal Bridges used that game to get back his rhythm. And so hopefully it stays with him. And we'll see what happens going forward. But we're in good shape, Knicks Nation. We just need to continue to get our guys healthy. Like I said, Precious is the next shoe to drop. And then after that, Mitchell Robinson, hopefully at the end of the month. And we're good. Y'all, please be safe. Enjoy your Monday. Shalom.